everybody. I'm trying to close something, leave page. Hi. Okay. I had to close a page. Good thing I don't speak English for a living. Is my microphone even on? I haven't done a Facebook Live. See, that's how long it's been. Instagram Live. Check out my quarantine gray. There we go. Hi, my darlings. I have not done an Instagram Live since 1927, when I was 20 years old. So I thought I would do one today and continue to do so when I can, because so many people have reached out and said, I miss you. I want to see your beautiful face. I can't blame you. So here I am back. Who has good news to share? I have tons of good news, so much. We could fill the whole lesson with that. But who has some good news that they would like to share with all of us today in my live lockdown lesson number 21? I took a break for a week, 2 weeks. I can't remember because I was finishing my Sunday school program. And I'll answer your questions about that in a minute, because people have asked me a lot of questions. Welcome, everybody. Who has good news to share? And where are you from? And how are you doing? And I toast to your health. All right. Well, my good news is that today I walked 12 kilometers and I listened to some amazing podcasts and the sun was shining and I'm so happy. And tonight I'm going to watch the new Star Wars with my family. Very excited about that. And I've just been getting such great reactions to my launch yesterday. I've spent a lot of time behind the scenes finishing my Sunday school program. And we launched it yesterday after weeks and weeks of blood, sweat, and tears. And the response has been just so great. And I wanted to talk to you today. Oh, someone said, what podcast do you listen to? I listen to lots of different podcasts. I start every morning with my favorite news podcast, which is the Rachel Maddow Show, who is from MSNBC, who has a really interesting take on American news and American politics. I am American. I live in the Netherlands, but it's an election year. And you may or may not know, I am not a fan of the person who lives in the White House when he's not golfing. So I'm very interested in her take, the Rachel Maddow Show. And I also listen to some comedy podcasts. My favorite one is My Dad Wrote a Porno. It's a guy who's like my age, and his dad, who's like in his 70s, wrote an erotic novel, and it's terrible. It's just the most anti-sexy thing ever. It's so funny. And they read it chapter by chapter, and they talk about it. If you want to laugh out loud so that you'll cry, listen to the My Dad Wrote a Porno podcast if you are 18 or older, which I am, just barely. So, I was walking and getting inspired, and lots of people were messaging me about my program that I launched yesterday. And I wanted to teach you one thing today that's in the program, but I wanted just to touch on that today, and that is about grammar and communication. So many people speak English all the time. Yay. But one thing that I keep hammering on, great expression, hammering, is when you speak English all the time, it does not mean you're getting feedback all the time. I will repeat that. Speaking English all the time does not mean you are getting feedback all the time. So you're making, probably, based on my 30 years of teaching experience, I can almost promise you that you're making some mistakes. that you are unaware of, because you don't know what you don't know, right? So speaking a lot does not mean learning a lot. It means painting with the same colors and making the same mistakes over and over and over again. And I'll tell you one thing, if someone ever corrects you in English, and if you say to them, why is that wrong? For example, if you say, I've been to Scotland in January. I've been to Scotland in January last year. That's wrong. But, maybe it sounds right, because if you're Dutch, you think, ik ben daar geweest. Of, I don't know, maybe you're thinking in your own language, and it makes sense in your own language to use that structure. I have been there last year. But if someone corrects you, most likely they'll say it's wrong. And then you'll say, well, why is it wrong? And they're going to say, it doesn't sound right. Or we just don't say it that way. Like, very few people can actually explain the theory, the grammatical theory of why something is wrong. And, by saying, actually, I have been or I have visited, that's using the present perfect, which is used only for things that are still continuing up to now and including the future. So when you say last year or last January, you have to say I was. The present perfect is not used in that way. Here is a timeline. Here are key time indicators. Look at my chart. This is what I'm talking about. So many times, my cat just is trying to jump on me now. Perfect timing, Whiskers, my co-star. So you're speaking a lot, you're not getting feedback. Or you're speaking a lot, getting feedback, and the feedback, it's like Whiskers giving you feedback. It's like Whiskers saying, I don't know why it's right. Give it up for Whiskers. Oh, fuck her. Excuse my French. Excuse my cat hair mustache now. So you really need someone who understands the grammar theory to get you through and to stop you from making the mistakes. Because if someone says, it's not right, and you're like, well, why? Well, we just don't say it that way. That really doesn't help you. That's like getting feedback from my cat. It will not help you improve. It will not help you get better. So the theory is really, really important, because many people doubt when they speak English, especially when it comes to grammar. And when you're doubting, it means you don't trust your feeling. I get it. And when you don't trust your feeling, many people go into what I call the shame spiral. And you're like, I don't trust this. Am I doing this right? Oh my God, maybe I did this wrong. Oh, is this right? And then you get trapped in this shame spiral. We've all been there. I have been there myself in Dutch and French and Spanish and so many languages that I've learned. Shame spiral, I know what that's like. We are all in this together. So believe me, everything I'm teaching you is based on my own experience of language learning. And when you understand the rules, like the facts of how it is this way and why, then you get it and you'll use it right, because you know the real deal. If you don't know the theory, you're going to be shooting in the dark and be like, let me just use it this way, or let me just use this phrase, or, oh yeah, I heard someone, I'm just going to say this because that's what I heard someone say. But it doesn't mean that it's right. But if you know that it's right, that means you're doing it right, and your confidence goes boop, 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 like super, super high. And that's what I want for every single person I work with, is to have them feel like a badass in English, because they know the real deal. It's not based on your feeling. It's based on the knowledge that you know it's right. And when you know you're making the right choice, you're going to feel like a badass mofo, yo. So what I wanted to do today was to talk to you about how one word can change the grammar in the present tenses. So, and that word is, my friends, always. Make a screenshot now if you want. Always. But not this one. Yeah, that's the way I teach. And that's why people love or hate my lessons, because we laugh a lot and we learn together. So the word always has repercussions when you use it in the present tenses. Let me give you an example. If you say to somebody, I always wake up at 6. I always go to the gym. I always drive to work. I always have coffee in the morning. Cool. Those are all correct. Those are things that you do on a regular basis. But if you want to give bad news in English and you want to sound polite, we use always for things with the present simple. That's I live, I work, I study. So like I said, I always drive to work. I always drink coffee in the morning. I always arrive on time. She always does her best. He always works hard. These are things that happen again and again and again. And we use the present simple, which is to live, to work, to study, with no ing, not living, working, studying, no ing. We use that for things that happen again and again and again, right? So the stuff that you always do, you use always with. Makes perfect sense, right? Except for one situation. And that is when you want to give bad news or express criticism or frustration in English. And then the always is used in a different way. Let's say you have a colleague. Let's call him Jim Bob. Jim Bob, right? Every Friday, Jim Bob drinks 6 beers at the Friday afternoon happy hour. A lot of companies in the Netherlands, when we all used to work face to face. You remember those days when we used to work face to face? A lot of people on Fridays, a lot of companies they end their working week on a Friday with the Friday afternoon drink. And that's lots of fun. But Jim Bob, whenever he's at that Friday afternoon happy hour, he drinks 6 beers every Friday in a row. Jim Bob. So if this upsets you and you want to express criticism or frustration, if you say to your darling colleague, Jim Bob, hey, Jim Bob, you always drink a lot at the cocktail hour, at the happy hour, you always drink a lot, or you always drink 6 beers. Because you're thinking, yeah, I use always for things that happen like normal again and again. That's not how we do it in English. This is the twist in grammar. This is why I developed Sunday School, to take something you know and then to show you how it's really used in a different way than you might realize. This is to get rid of your bad habits in English. You should say to Jim Bob, you're always drinking too much at the Friday drinks. You're always having too many beers. But notice I said you're always having, you're always drinking. And that is how we express in English criticism, frustration, or irritation in English. Because we use always for things that happen again and again and again. But if it's negative and you want it to end, then you have to use always plus the ing. That is how we express criticism, frustration, or irritation in English. Because if you say to your buddy, Jim Bob, you always drink 6 beers at the happy hour, Jim Bob's going to be like, yeah, I do. That's like saying to Jim Bob, you always drive to work. You always have coffee for breakfast. It's either neutral, normal, or positive. You're not criticizing him at all. And he will only, if his English is good enough, God help you, Jim Bob. But if his English is good enough and you say, Jim, you're always drinking too much at those happy, I'm a little concerned. You're always drinking 6 beers in one afternoon. If Jim Bob is smart, he will say, oh, sorry. He will give you a different reaction. So when you say to someone who's a native speaker or has a good level of English, you always do this, they will not understand that it bothers you unless you use the ing form. So you can say, my secretary is always arriving late. Like, I don't like it. I want it to change. We use the ing form for something that's temporary. So at the moment I'm doing a Facebook Live, at the moment my cat is scratching my leg and I might be injured at the end of this lesson, the sacrifices I make for you, my darlings. So we use the ing for things that are happening now or things that will end. But when you put an always in there, it is used to express criticism or frustration. So how many people knew that? How many people knew that? This is something that is not often taught at school. Maybe you didn't get it at school. And this is also something that you're not getting feedback about. This is something that's happening, but nobody is saying, you know what? If you're using a criticism, you have to use always plus the present progressive. Always plus the ing expresses criticism, frustration, or irritation in English. This is why. So just because you're not getting feedback does not mean you're doing it right. Sorry. And that is why I designed and developed Sunday School. So today is Liberation Day in the Netherlands, and I am here to liberate your English from bad mistakes. I might have used this without this explanation. It makes so much sense. I'm glad my explanations make sense to you, Hendrika. Thank you. That's why I developed Sunday School, because I take stuff that you are not aware of for 12 weeks, and I slip into your inbox every Sunday, starting May 31st. And it's theme-based learning. You get every Sunday a video lesson from me. The video lessons are short. They are 5 minutes, 8 minutes. And it's where I set up the theme of that week's lesson. And it's when I go over the between 5 and 10 words per week that I'm going to teach you. I say how to pronounce them, how they're used, and I give example sentences. Then you get a 10 to 15 page interactive workbook where you are forced to activate what you're learning. It's not just watching me on the video. That is not enough. I know you would love to do that, but that's too easy. So in the workbook, first you get the transcript of the entire video. So you listen to the video and you can read along with me. So everything I say, you can also read. It's in your workbook. Then you get grammar explanation, exercises, and answers. So it's learning, it's doing, and it's getting feedback. That is how we learn. You learn it, you do it, you activate it, and you get feedback. That's super important. That is the holy trilogy of every single thing I do. And we laugh and we have fun, and it's totally rock and roll. Then you also get communication section in every workbook, which talks about something related to communication, either writing or speaking, related to that theme. And I'll tell you about the themes in a moment. And then I also, as a coach, it's really important for me, as I eat my own hair, that you learn about yourself. I want you to grow not just as a student, but as a person. So I have worked very hard to find really amazing, inspirational, and motivational quotes from people like Michelle Obama, Brené Brown, Buddha, and Bruce Willis, and Michelangelo. Yeah, that's how we roll. It's so much fun. And that's where it teaches you things. And you have to write a reflection assignment about you and your own personal development and your own comfort zone. It's super fun. And that workbook is completely interactive. You can download it and keep it forever. You can access the videos whenever you want. We start on May 31st, and it's for 12 weeks every Sunday. The level, people have asked me lots of questions. What is the level? If you like what I'm doing here, this is exactly the speed of the videos, and this is the style of the videos. And you get the transcript. The level is intermediate and up. I go up to some advanced grammar, lots of vocabulary. At the end of 12 weeks, you will have learned and activated about 100 new words and phrases after 12 weeks. And I'll tell you the themes of the lessons. Every lesson has a theme. The entire program is completely done, but because of my memory, I don't remember the right order. So we start with goal setting, language to setting goals, travel, business English, expressing appreciation and gratitude, giving and getting feedback, how to give bad news, how to respond to bad news, how to apologize, how to ask or give a recommendation. That's really important to me because I notice so many people on LinkedIn, they've been asked to give a LinkedIn recommendation in English and they don't do it because they don't know how. That is in Sunday School. How to give or receive an apology. For some people, sorry seems to be the hardest word. In a professional situation, I will tell you just saying, oh, sorry, is not enough. I teach you how to use beautiful phrases that are very professional, like on behalf of my entire team, I would like to take full responsibility for what happened. That is gorgeous professional English. On behalf of my entire team, I would like to take full responsibility for what happened. That is next level apologizing. That's professional, and it's clear and it's empathetic. But just saying, oh, sorry, not enough. But again, if you don't have enough words, you're going to just end up saying, oh, sorry, and you're going to feel so stupid, and they're going to expect so much more from you. And that is why I'm here, is to make you feel confident in English. We have the language of trends, describing increasing, decreasing. We have phrasal verbs, which is the difference between turn in, turn over, turn at, turn off, etc., etc. Giving and receiving compliments, super important. Using the passive voice in writing to present bad news. Email tips and tricks, and question tags, and so much more. The program is 12 weeks, and I have an early bird special for the month of May, and that is $129. You heard that right, less than 130 euros for the entire program. June 1st, the price goes up, and a lot of people are jumping in, and I've gotten such great reactions. So if you want to order, let me show you what I got here. Oh, I've got my little hipster light box, but I just lost the N. Hold on. So I have this, which is a great idea, but the letters don't fit. So sometimes a letter falls out, and if I can't spell the website correctly, for my job, that's a bad thing. So check this out. I'm just gonna do this, and I'm gonna turn the phone. Just a minute, because I made this for you. Check this out. Oh, that's my chandelier. Check this out. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. The website is Sundays Cool, as one word. Wait, I'm trying to get this. Sundays Cool. See my D? I'm losing my D. Look how professional I am. Sundayscool.online. Make your screenshot or send me a DM if you want to. Sundayscool.online. Look at those gorgeous colors. And it's so much fun. So it's $129. If you wait, the price goes up to $149. You can wait if you want to spend more money. That's fine. But I really believe in long-term learning. You get the program. You get lifetime access. You get 12 video lessons. You get 12 interactive workbooks. You get a certificate when you're done. And after the course is done, I also have a special offer if you want to work with me privately. But we'll talk about that later. So, who has questions for me? With the grammar that I just explained, was that new to anybody? Did people know this already? This gives you a kind of a sneak peek of what my program is about. But what's super important, oh, Sherma Rouse, I love you and I miss you, and you're beautiful. You're beautiful, and I love you and I miss you, Sherma, my darling. If you don't know the music of Sherma Rouse, check it out. She's fantastic. Thank you for sending me love. I love you too. I miss you. I miss a lot of people. Who has questions for me today? If there's something that I didn't mention, send me a DM and I will put it. In my next lesson. Yes, ask away. Who has a question? This is your chance to ask the teacher anything. Ask away. And for those of you, we just launched Sunday School yesterday, and many people ordered. So if you are watching and you ordered my program, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm so excited to working with you. When to use the gerund? I know this is after prepositions. That is very funny because that is lesson 10 of Sunday School, the gerund versus the infinitive. That is funny. That is in the program. The gerund is the ing form of a verb. For example, looking, watching, talking. And it's used in lots of different ways. Sometimes you can use the gerund as the subject of the sentence. So looking after children is tiring. Looking after children, that was a phrasal verb, looking after, and using the ing form of the gerund. A very common mistake people make with the gerund is when they write an email, many times people end with, I look forward to hear you. I look forward to meet you. I look forward to see you. Wrong. All of those are wrong. It should be, I look forward to seeing you. I look forward to meeting you. I look forward to hearing from you. You must always use the ing after the to in the look forward to construction. That is called a prepositional object, and then you need the gerund. I'll talk more about it in Sunday school, but just to give you some idea, that's quite advanced. And why is it correct to say I am about to go? I don't understand your question. Why is it correct to say I'm about to go? Hey, Alana, welcome from North Carolina. So yes, I don't, someone asked a question, when is it correct to say I'm about to go? The to that you mentioned was TOO, which brings me to the point, what is the difference between to and to and to? So I have my fabulous whiteboard here, because I'm a teacher and I'm prepared. So if we say here, right? This, I know it's backwards. This two, this is number 2. I'm going to flip it around in a second. Okay, so if I explain, let me flip you around. Oh, can you see? Wait, let me. Oh God, I'm so bad at this. Hold on, let me see if this helps. Does this help? Yay! Oh, this is fun. Okay, so TWO is clearly number 2. Most people get that. But what's the difference between 2 and 2? So TOO. And if you speak Dutch, it's like ook. And the way to remember that is double O. For de Nederlands sprekende mensen onder ons. So here, I like chocolate. Oh, I like chocolate too. I like learning English. Oh, I like learning English too. It means also. But it can be used, for example, too much, too few, too many. Don't buy that car. It's too expensive. When you're comparing something, you would use to in this way. And to here is used with a verb, for example, to go, to study. It's also used with a direction. I'm going to work. I'm going to school. I'm going to Los Angeles. Also used with objects like give that to me, give that to her, give that to us. So I hope that helps. Just a super quick response. Other questions for me? I have my whiteboard. I have my always. For those of you just joining in, you're probably wondering what kind of lesson I was giving with this. You'll have to go back to the beginning and watch it. This word is very important. Where are you from? I am from Brooklyn, New York, originally, and I live in the Netherlands, and I have my own company as a personal English coach and consultant and writer and author. Everything about English is my thing. That's kind of like what I love doing. Other questions? Oh, you were from Brazil. Welcome. Okay. Yeah, people have joined me. This is my 21st live lockdown lesson, and I've taught people from Iran, Iraq, Syria, Pakistan, India, Canada, America. Maak je gebruik van meer ezelsbruggetje als to en ook. Dat helpt mij gezien mijn... Ja, dat snap ik heel goed. If you are dyslexic, sometimes learning all the rules with words is very, very hard to remember. I wrote the book Rock Your English. My first book is called Rock Your English. You can go to rockyourenglish.com and see more about the book. I use a lot of timelines to explain the grammar. When you can visualize something as a picture, as far as grammar goes, it really helps you understand it a lot better. And I get so many reactions from people who are dyslexic that for the first time they understand grammar because of the timeline. That really, really helps. Yes, if you have other questions, you can send me a DM. My cat is here. She's trying to drink my water, and I'm not going to let her. Other questions? If you want to know the website for my course, those are my flowers. There's my always. Here. And there's whiskers. There we go. Sundayscool.online. My new course, we just launched it yesterday, and the response has been so great. If you have other questions about the course, let me know. I am here to help. I am here to serve. I've taught thousands and thousands of people in my 30 years of experience, and I truly believe that feeling safe to make mistakes helps you learn. Laughter is a fantastic way to learn. And being silly and having fun is awesome. So I always want to have fun. I work very hard and I love, love, love what I do. Life is very short. So you have to live every day like it's your last and get as much out of it as you can. And I was born to teach people English and better communication skills. That is why I'm here. I'm here to serve. And I've been very, very lucky that many of my clients are very, very famous, and they have said very nice things about me, and people have heard the difference in their English. So there's some good testimonials on my website. Oh, Stamasia says, I am looking forward to learning from you. Thank you so much. Thank you for what you do. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward, Tayana Ferreto, to learning with you. Thank you so much. It's an honor and a pleasure. It's a blessing. I'm so lucky that I use social media to reach so many people around the world. It's something that I really, really love. I don't have tons of followers, but I have very committed, dedicated, and motivated followers. And the people who follow me because they really want to learn something and they want to have fun. And that's kind of like what I love doing. So, other questions before we sign up? I will put this as an IGTV. Hopefully, my phone will listen to what I'm saying. Oh, and this is something. I just have my laptop here. But did you know if you have a Mac, there is a word of the day screensaver. It's happening live right now. These are words of the day. So even when your computer is on standby, you can still... Hello! You can still learn some new words. The word of the day screensaver. Super fun. I am never not teaching, and I want you to be never not learning. There's always something to learn. Remember, like how I started this lesson for people who just joined in, if you're speaking English every day, does not mean you're getting feedback every day. It means probably you're making the same mistakes every day. And if someone gives you feedback, they don't understand most of the time the rules and the theory. So that's why I developed Sunday School, so I can help you for 12 weeks because I believe in lifetime learning. And you get lifetime access to the program. It does not end in 12 weeks. You can go back and watch the videos as much as you want. I'm always around. I'm not going anywhere. I teach young learners. So if you're an English teacher who works with young children, the BBC has a fantastic database, and the British Council for Young Children. So I would recommend using those sites, bbc.co.uk/learning English. Fantastic database. Okay, my darling, last round of questions, and then I'm going to sign off. Who has a question? Welcome for all of our people joining. And I feel really bad because sometimes people join in like right before we're done. And then I'm like, thanks for joining and goodbye. But last chance for questions, and then I'm going to put this on my IGTV and maybe share it to Facebook. Idioms. You also like to learn idioms. I have a lot of idioms on my website. I have some very, very cool idioms. You can look on my shop. My ebooks are $9.95. They're not, they're less than 10 euros. And a lot of them are idiom based. So you can check my website. That's on my Instagram bio. Okay, my darlings. I have some work to do. I have an artist with a new album that is waiting for me to give them feedback today about their newest single. It's very exciting. You will be hearing it on the radio later this year. So thank you for joining me. And I will try to do an Instagram Live again tomorrow. But check my stories, because I will always put a reminder, a countdown in my stories. Where can I find info on your Sunday school? Oh yeah, so here the website is, excuse the always, Sundays Cool as one word. It should be one word, sundayschool.online. And look, we'll make it like super special. Wait a minute. There we go. Look at that. The Sunday school party is starting. If you go to sundayschool.online, you can find out everything about the program. There's a whole FAQ section about questions that people want to know. Just go to sundayschool.online. And please excuse these letters, which don't really fit. So that was my Instagram Live today. Live lockdown lesson 21. And we will do more this week, I promise. So today is Liberation Day in the Netherlands. I hope now your English is liberated from the one grammar mistake that I dealt with today. So just to recap, when you use always plus the verb plus ing, you're always drinking too much at the party, you're always driving too fast, you're always smoking in the car, you're always arriving late. That expresses criticism, frustration, or irritation. But if you say to someone, you always drink too much, it's not expressing that at all. So using always, that's why I have the always plus the ing. That is how we express irritation, frustration, and complaining in a formal and polite way. So a lot of people struggle with that. And that is part of lesson 1 of Sunday school. So if you like that and you think, oh, that's really interesting, I didn't know that, I've been doing it wrong forever, I'd like to learn more, you can learn with me for 12 weeks on sundayschool.online. And the special offer is 129 euros for 12 weeks of lessons. That's a pretty good deal. And I'm looking forward to learning with you. Have a super day, and I will let you know when the next Instagram Live will be. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye. Bye. Oh, maybe I should end. I'm supposed to end. There we go. That's the end. Okay. Bye. Thanks for joining me. Also, Whiskers, who is now licking herself in a very special place, she says goodbye too. Bye.